Hey, happy Sunday afternoon, y'all. Thanks for being here. This is a special treat. The rain cleared off. The leaves fell down. We're going to hang out. My name's Graham Sharp, in case you stumbled in here unwittingly. It happens. Do a bunch of tunes I wrote here. Start off with this one. Down in the basement of an empty house, selling darkness is an easy pitch. Passing a torch, long burned out, hoping nobody flips the switch. Cold cinders in my hands, cinders in my pockets, God help me, I remember the flame. Well, the warmth of the embers was gone when I got it, but I got it just the same. And it's just too far to go in a hand-me-down shoes. Generation blues. Well, my father was a general, pain in the ass, and I was a private disgrace. I must have huffed a lot of chemicals, polishing the brass, 'cause I never could act my age. Well, fly boys, choir boys, look you in the eye, boys, talking how the war was won. A black and white photo of the soda pop king, grinning like a son of a gun. And it's just too far to go in the hand-me-down shoes. The generation blues. Well, angels fly, but a saint's gotta walk. Gotta wake up in the morning and choose. Take a little sugar, take a little salt, go make it on the avenue. I got a key in my hand, a key in my pocket. I'm looking for a room with a view. Well, the door's unhinged and there ain't no lock and no telling now who's coming through. And it's just too far to go in hand-me-down shoes. The generation blues. Well, the trash got tossed while I was sleeping. Look what these kids can do. What's lost wasn't worth the cost to keep, and so let's just start anew. I got nothing in my hands, nothing in my pockets. I threw away the little was left. Well, if you ain't tried it, don't try to knock it. There's better things up ahead. And it's just too far to go in these hand-me-down shoes. The generation blues. Thanks, y'all. This is I've done about 4 or 5 of these things here at the Grey Eagle. Feels so good out here on this patio, and feels really good with a bunch of people out here. This is cheers. Yeah, this is what a sellout looks like in 2020 right here. This is it. Boom. And like I say, I've done a handful of these shows and mostly done new songs that I've written, but the band, the Steve Canyon Rangers, put out a new record last week, and so I figured I'd change it up today and do a bunch of those songs from that album, see if I can render them solo. This is a song I wrote with a fellow named Andy Buckner, lives up in Marshall. He's from Marshall, North Carolina, and comes from the great tradition of all the old-time musicians up there, and somehow ended up on The Voice and sang on the big TV on The Voice, and he's a great fella. And he came over to the house one day. We were writing a song, and Billy will appreciate this. As a book club member, our book club was reading a book called Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl is what it was. And a lot of the album that the Rangers just put out, I think, has a lot to do with kind of resilience and what we do with hard times and how we live through it and come back a little stronger. So this is one called The Bullet in the Fire. The day that he dropped out of school, his father said he'd be a fool to hang around this little town too long. But what his father didn't know was Sarah was starting to show, and they didn't give a damn if it was wrong. Folks round here, they like to talk, they like to think the road they walk's the only way. That's what they say. For a while there it was chaos. There were hungry nights and trade-offs, trying to dig their way out of that hole. Some nights he'd sit out on the couch, wondering if he's cut out to play this role with no control. The man is a liar who says that he sees anything beyond this day. The bullet in the fire is laughing at the choices and the plans we made. It will give and it will take, break your heart, but it cannot touch your mind and how it shines. And the rest just fades over time. And now his eyes are hard as stone. There's not much left but skin and bone, so far from how he'd pictured growing old. And all the ones that he proved right and wrong, and all the times that he'd been strong, and somehow he outlived them all. When I asked him for the reason why he longs for the next season, why he's holding on, he told me, son, the man is a liar who says that he sees anything beyond this day. The bullet in the fire is laughing at the choices and the plans we made. It will give and it will take, break your heart, but it cannot touch your mind and how it shines. And the rest just fades over time. Liar who says that he sees anything beyond this day. The bullet in the fire is laughing at the choices and the plans that we made. It will give and it will take, break your heart, but it cannot touch your mind and how it shines, and the rest just fades over time. Appreciate that, y'all. Disclaimer that the way you're hearing these songs singed here tonight is not the way they are on the Steep Canyon Rangers album. So, fortunate to be in a band with people with beautiful voices, and I do what I can. Well, thanks, I appreciate it. You know, this is I don't know where this song came from, but it just came. It was one of those. And it has this kind of earworm melody that stuck around for a long time, and we eventually decided we'd record it here. It's one called The Crystal Ship. Trees are turning gray. She said the sky is filled with lead, and I'm weary to my bones, but I can't rest in my own bed. She did not ask that I might follow, that I might understand. All she asked, as I recall her, by her footprints in the sand. Oh, the crystal water. Oh, the crystal sea. Oh, the crystal ship that took my love away from me. Every creek and every raindrop cries out with the sound. For the sea, she is their mother, and she calls them to go down. So the restless river runs without a moment's peace, to lose itself at last in the silence of the deep. Oh, the crystal water. Oh, the crystal sea. Oh, the crystal ship that took my love away from me. And I fear there'll be no stars looking out from that far shore, and I don't know how you'll find your way home anymore. Oh, the crystal water. Oh, the crystal sea. Oh, the crystal ship that took my love away from me. Thank you, y'all. I'm gonna pick up something with 5 strings instead of 6 here. Never know what to do with that one extra string. That's an instrument that doesn't have 5. But this is a funky little banjo here. It's a song that, well, you know, we've been off the road for a while now. Kind of coming to like it an awful lot, and miss it every once in a while, but there's a lot of days that you don't miss out there. And did a lot of touring, you know, with Steve Martin in the days, and a lot of times you end up playing strange places you never figured you'd find yourself. Maybe a casino where they had a MMA match the night before, you know, and it still smells like that, and and you know, all sorts of places. We were up in New York, a lot of these places up north. You end up playing in these hockey rinks in these smaller towns up there. And we were out there at a hockey rink one day, and it was cold, and it was rainy, and it was just nasty, and really wanted to be right back here. And wrote this little song about that, hanging out in the visiting team's dressing room there, which is not a great place to be in a hockey rink. And sure the visiting team doesn't like the bluegrass band hanging out in their locker room either, so. But anyways, it's one called Watertown. Way up here in Watertown, waiting for the show, and someone dumped the trash where the trash ain't supposed to go, and the boss is on the phone. That's just what kind of day it is. It's gonna take all morning to deal with all this mess. There's a storm coming in, you can feel it in the air. St. Christopher, come sweeping down and get me out of here, Lord. Well, the satellite is out in the single wide again, keeping all the news from outside from creeping in. And I'm looking out my window for something I could do, but the picnic table's busted and the razor wire is new. The puddles in the parking lot are dirty and they're deep. If I could dream myself back home, I'd try to get some sleep. Well, there's a lot of stuff, but in particular, there's a palm tree made of plastic leaning on the kiddie pool. It probably looked fantastic way back when it was new, and the folks round here keep keeping on in spite of all the noise. Makes me wish I was back in Asheville where I'm just one of the boys. Instead, I'm up in Watertown waiting for the show, and someone dumped the trash where the trash ain't supposed to go. told you this is a fun little banjo. And it says Bela Fleck right there on it, so you know it's got to be good. Let's see. I'm going to do a song about, it's not just about drinking whiskey in the afternoon. It's actually called Whiskey in the Afternoon, so perhaps apropos to the moment. And this is one written by special request by my wife, who wanted a drinking song, a whiskey drinking song. And I went down in the basement one night and wrote a whiskey drinking song, and I was like, yes, I got a whiskey drinking song, and I played it for her, and she's like, that's not really what I had in mind for a whiskey drinking song at all. That's all right. She's going to love it today. One called Whiskey in the Afternoon. You won't find my reflection in your martini glass, with your Bombay gin and your ballroom gown as the stars go flying past. You'll only be a shadow by the light of the moon, but you'll think of me, dear, when you drink your whiskey in the afternoon. Wildflowers rise up from the dust, and to the dust return, and summer love will never die long as the sun does burn. And the petals fade and fall around, and on the ground are strewn, and you'll think of me, dear, when you drink your whiskey in the afternoon. I hold no claim upon your heart, I only wish you well. You need not say my name at all in the stories that you tell. Some other you may long for when you hear your favorite tune, but you'll think of me, dear, when you drink your whiskey in the afternoon. And if there's consolation for losing you too soon, it's knowing that you'll think of me with your whiskey in the afternoon. It's knowing that you'll think of me with your whiskey in the afternoon. Let everybody rest from the banjo there. Collect your breath, everybody. It's a full body experience to listen to a solo banjo, I know it is. Trying to stay busy here in pandemic world. I made a record a couple months ago, a bunch of tunes that I've written recently, and I do a couple of those right here. This is one called Truer Picture of Me. In the photograph you took on our vacation at the lake, we looked invincible, two hearts that might never break. And you and I together was the finest thing I'd seen. And there's times I wish we'd stayed just like that picture on the screen. And it can be our secret what's happened in between. I only hope you still love what you see, a truer picture of me. And I try to show my good side every chance I get. So when you're looking back, the bad days fade just a little bit. We show the world the Christmas lights, all the high times and the pretty sights. Like a wish that only this were true. But sometimes a heart's too heavy to wear upon your sleeve. I only hope you still love what you see, a truer picture of me. What the hell was I thinking with a haircut like that? It looks like I combed it with a one-eyed wildcat. But what I see most clearly is the way that I'm looking at you. You never had to learn me, you just knew. And when you hold me in your eyes, I know you will not be deceived. I only hope you still love what you see, a truer picture of me. 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 Thank you, y'all. Oh, y'all are kind. That's good. We can do this all night here. I do a song. This is actually one we put together shortly before the band shut down. It was March 11th when we came home, and we were in Dublin, Ireland that night, and we had played a show with Steve Martin and Martin Short, and we had gone to a pub and played music with the local Irishmen in this pub. Then we came back, and it was like 3 a.m., and we watched the Carolina Tar Heels play the ACC tournament game. They lost, and we were in a room with like Turner paintings, and it was amazing. And then we got a call that like, you got to go home. This is your last chance. So shortly before that, we were out in Texas, out in the Panhandle out there. I think we were in Amarillo. We had just come from Lubbock, Texas, and feeling a little groggy one morning. Went in walking around Amarillo and all the concrete around there and whatnot, and looking for anything, and walked into, was in a convenience store, and a lady walked in, and she looked at me and she said, "Hello, handsome." It's like, well, it's only me and you in here, so I guess you're talking to me, and I don't feel very handsome this morning, but hello, beautiful. And got the idea for this song here. I'll try it for you. It's called Harvest Queen. It's a day's walk on blacktop from here, any way that you choose. Been still for too long, and the wind piles the dust on your shoes. And if you call me handsome, and I call you beautiful, you keep saying those words and it might just come true, who knows? So lay your hand in mine and waltz me in the cradle of 3/4 time. Come wipe this dust bowl clean, Harvest Queen. And we grew up never knowing we were children of the worst hard times, where the sky held us down every time that we thought we might fly. And the steel in your eye is a little too familiar to me. Catch my reflection, and I know what you wish we might be. So lay your hand in mine and waltz me in the cradle of 3/4 time. Come wipe this dust bowl clean, Harvest Queen. And I go between praying for rain and staying out of the wind. Am I such a fool as to trust all this dry dust again? But I still dream of a horse in the stable and hay in the barn. 4 chairs round a table and a song and you in my arms. So lay your hand in mine and waltz me in the cradle of 3/4 time. Come wipe this dust bowl clean. Come wipe this dust bowl clean. Come wipe this dust bowl clean, Harvest Queen. Thanks, y'all. Let's see here. I'm going to do a couple more tunes off this Steve Canyon Rangers Arm in Arm record. Proud of this record. And but not too proud to come out here and butcher these songs independently without the rest of the band. This is one I wrote for my daughter. I was up in Vancouver. We were with the band, and we had been up there for several days waiting for, I guess, Steve Martin and Martin Short to get there, do the show. I've been trying to write this song and couldn't figure it out, couldn't get it anywhere, couldn't do anything, and just sat there in the hotel room staring at a pad of paper, more or less, and went to a Japanese garden, and some kind of clicked with the whole way it was laid out, you know, circles and squares, light and dark, hard and soft, stuff like that. And got to Edmonton the next day, and this song was yeah. Woo! It's getting wild now. This song is good. It's wild. It goes well with the motorcycle. It's called Honey on My Tongue. You're gonna leave, I better get used to that. I thought I might watch your back all the time. You introduced me to a whole wide world who lights up the way I do when you walk up smiling. Open me right up, I find the joy of way too much, I find the pain of never enough. Dance in their dance, arm in arm, circling around this room like a sun chasing the moon. Yeah, you open me up, and I'm in my bare feet, standing in the clover. I got you buzzing around my head. I don't care if I get stung, for a little bit of honey on my tongue, for a little bit of honey on my tongue. Can't keep a secret or leave a keepsake on the shelf. Every little bit of yourself, you give it away. Is it mine to tell that you ought to go carefully? Or baby, leave that care to me. Run along and play. And I'm in my bare feet, standing in the clover. I got you buzzing around my head. I don't care if I get stung, for a little bit of honey on my tongue. In my bare feet, standing in the clover. I got you buzzing around my head. I don't care if I get stung, for a little bit of honey on my tongue, for a little bit of honey on my tongue, for a little bit of honey on my tongue. You're gonna leave, I better get used to that. I thought I might watch your back all the time. I'll do one I wrote with my buddy Frank Serio, who's a great friend of the music, makes his home somewhere between Florida and Pennsylvania. And Frank, you might be watching out there on the live stream here. Try to get this one right for you. Let's hold on just a second. Okay, yeah. Sometimes you got to make sure you got the right harmonica, because it's, yeah, kind of a disaster otherwise. But this is one called In the Next Life. And Frank came, he had this idea. He'd been around a campfire one night at a festival. A fellow had left the campfire in a huff, and he said, "I'm out of here. I got karma to burn." And Frank kind of put that line back. He liked that line and set it aside. And we came up here at Asheville about a year ago, and we wrote this song. I'll give it a shot here. It's not called Karma to Burn. It's called In the Next Life. Here we go. Once I had a lover who never held back. Once I had another, wanted all I had. It took a few years to remember them well, to leave my tears right where they fell. Maybe in the next life, maybe I'll get it right. Maybe in the next life, baby, give me one more try, and I'll wait my turn. I still got karma to burn. Somewhere in a past life, I must have been a real saint. Hey, lucky me, born with money in the bank. And to my future self, I'm sorry in advance, but I'm feeling too good now to worry about a second chance. Maybe in the next life, maybe I'll get it right. Maybe in the next life, baby, give me one more try, and I'll wait my turn. I still got karma to burn. It's too early to call, it's too late to call sober. When you were out in the woods, did you hear me fall over? Falling on your quiet place, wrecking the scene, turning all your time away into some strange dream. Maybe in the next life, maybe I'll get it right. Maybe in the next life, baby, give me one more try. Maybe in the next life, maybe I'll get it right. Maybe in the next life, baby, give me one more try, and I'll wait my turn. If it's not too late to learn, I still got karma to burn. I'll attempt one more off that new record here, and wrote this one with Barrett Smith, fine bass player, singer with the Steep Canyon Rangers. And I've been reading an article somewhere about about buried treasure and modern day treasure hunters out searching the Atlantic Ocean for the remnants of long lost treasures. And hold on. Does anybody know how one of these works? There we go. That's pretty close. It's one called Everything You Know. Cortez sailed on his boat so brave, but it was too late to trade his treasures for feathers as he was sinking down under the waves. His cannons won't fire and his flag won't wave no more, and those shipwrecked ghosts go floating like driftwood till one bright morning they come walking up on the shore. Oh, now don't tell them everything you know. Let the whole world wonder. When the time is right to give up the gold, hold a little back for the folks back home now. Checked out of my room, walked down to the Rio Grande. Fortune teller on the sidewalk, laughing at the way I talk. Drew a map upon my hand. Said what's to be or what might have been. So I pulled up these chains and set a course for the Spanish Main. And I'll be coming back someday, baby, but I don't know when. Oh, now don't tell them everything you know. Let the whole world wonder. When the time is right to give up the gold, hold a little back for the folks back home now. Empty-handed except for a sidewalk rose. Hey mama, it ain't easy to keep that skillet good and greasy. A pot of coffee on the stove. Now don't tell them everything you know. Let the whole world wonder. And when the time is right to give up the gold, hold a little back for the folks back home. Now don't tell them everything you know. Let the whole world wonder. And when the time is right to give up the gold, hold a little back for the folks back home now. Thanks, y'all. I'm going to do one that y'all might not have realized. I wrote a 1989 country mega hit. Probably didn't know that. But sadly, I wrote it in 2018, so. But I was out walking one day in my blue jeans on a hot day and came up with this song. And I think it's one of those songs that needs its own dance. So if anybody wants to invent a dance with this song, and when the video comes together, you'll get full credit. And so just, feel it out. Feel it out. Don't need to jump in too quickly here, but there's going to be a lot of people wanting to make up a dance for this song. So just warn you, better get on the boat quickly. It's one called Denim on Fire. Hey, denim on fire, generating heat when she moves like that, and you can feel the rhythm once she gets in them. A denim on fire, but I can't stand back. There's a addiction to the friction, the push and pull of a swinging dance floor in a honky-tonk or the discotheque, and her sock feet sliding across the kitchen floor. Calls the band is swinging, she starts a singing. She knows the words to every George Jones song. She'll drink if she wants, if she don't, she won't. If she needs a smoke, well, she can roll her own. Now denim on fire, generating heat when she moves like that, and you can feel the rhythm once she gets in them. A denim on fire, but I can't stand back. Saturday comes, she's feeling great. She puts on her favorite Jordache jeans Yeah, she likes a man that drinks Jim Beam straight, and she knows exactly what a mustache means. Yeah, denim on fire, generating heat when she moves like that, and you can feel the rhythm once she gets in them. Denim on fire, but I can't stand back. Yeah, denim on fire, generating heat when she moves like that, and you can feel the rhythm once she gets in them. Denim on fire, but I can't stand back. Yeah, denim on fire, generating heat when she moves like that, and you can feel the rhythm once she gets in them. Denim on fire, but I can't stand back. All right, no takers on the dance quite yet. I understand. It's do one that I wrote. Let's see, back in April, I guess. Salad days of quarantine. Just making the most of it before the absolute anguish set in completely. And but this is one I wrote, kind of looking towards all the folks in New York who are kind of bearing the brunt of it up there. And I have this one tree in my backyard. It's this dead tree, but it's a big locust tree where all the birds come and hang out every morning. And made me think of this little line. It's one called "Coming Back to Life." My downstairs neighbor stumbling to his refrigerator door. I can hear his stomach rumbling through his ceiling, through my floor. Sounds just like a 2x4 he's cutting with a steak knife. It's a noisy, messy business, this coming back to life. And I'm sitting in my kitchen, hoping for something new. It's just myself, I'm kidding. Most anything would do. I blow imaginary smoke rings with my imaginary pipe. Put my mind on a sweet thing, keep coming back to life. There was a fella down here at the river park one day. A long time ago, we were down there when my kids were young, and he swore that his grandfather, who owned a gas station out in Candler, could train crows how to talk. It involved taking a knife and slitting their tongue. I know. I never tried it, and it's awful. But slitting, and he swore that his grandfather had a crow on a tether in his gas station out in Candler who he had trained to talk. But he was sitting out there feeding crackers to all the birds. And Big Crow by my windows got breakfast in his beak. An old man once told me he could teach a crow to speak. He spends his hours on the park bench now since he lost his wife, feeding saltines to the pigeons. He keeps coming back to life. And I'm sitting in my pajamas, hoping for something new. It's just myself, I'm kidding. Most anything would do. I blow imaginary smoke rings with my imaginary pipe. Keep my mind on a sweet thing, keep coming back to life. This verse has no story. Which may be why it's so hard to remember. When I had to kick the habit of walking in my sleep, I kept a picture in my head that kept me light upon my feet. The reaper right behind me twirling his scythe, cursing this old world that keeps coming back to life. Now I'm sitting in my kitchen, hoping for something new. It's just myself, I'm kidding. Most anything would do. I blow imaginary smoke rings with my imaginary pipe. Keep my mind on a sweet thing, keep coming back to life. Keep my mind on a sweet thing, keep a coming back to life. That just felt like the right thing to do. So. What y'all think? Banjo, guitar, neither? Accordion? Yeah. Reminds me of the joke about perfect pitch. You know that one? Yeah. When the perfect pitch, the definition when you throw the accordion in the dumpster and it lands on the banjo. Yeah, there's a lot of them. A lot of them. We could just spend the rest of the day telling banjo jokes. Maybe I'll do one more with the banjo here. I'm going off set list here. This is unprecedented. It's going to be wild. It's going to be crazy. This is the what's known as Reuben tuning. And this is what Earl Scruggs, they say, invented. The three-finger banjo on was this particular tuning. And said he and his brother Horace would go out in the front yard and stand back to back, and they'd start playing Reuben. Horace on the guitar, Earl on the banjo, standing back to back, and they'd each walk around the house in a different direction. And if they got back to the other side of the house and they were still together, they knew they were doing it right. So if I take off at some point walking around the Gray Eagle, you'll know what's happening. We'll try this one. We'll train song. Every show needs a train song. It's the last train before they shut it down. It's the last line going that way. Last chance heading out of town. Thought I heard the driver say, pack my bags and all my things and left them all behind. Red light flashing across that river bridge and I'm heading down to Carolina. Tell the ones I love this train's running late. There ain't no end of the line. The hardest part of heaven is making it wait. The old 97's gonna make it this time. Far away from my everyday till every day ran dry. Never stop to look behind me or turn to say goodbye. So tell the ones I love this train's running late. There ain't no end of the line. The hardest part of heaven is making it wait, but the old 97's gonna make it this time. Everything was made to break, and the wheels are made of glass. I can hear them groaning, feel them shaking neath the weight of all our past. So tell the ones I love, this trains are running late. There ain't no end of the line. The hardest part of heaven is making it wait. The old 97's gonna make it this time. Close my eyes and feel the wind, lean back and let her roll. And when that 97 hits 110, you can feel it in your soul. So tell the ones I love, this trains are running late. There ain't no end of the line. The hardest part of heaven is making it wait. The old 97's gonna make it this time. Thanks, y'all. Well, if y'all wake up tomorrow morning and decide you really have not had enough of me, I'll be on 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to be with Dr. Bob on 103.3, talking about the Rangers and our new record and all that stuff. And 103.3 is Asheville FM. And, yeah. And this next song actually comes from a DJ on Asheville FM. I don't know what day he comes on, but if you can ever catch Russell on there, he will make your day. The man has a laugh about 10,000 watts. And, one of the greatest things you ever heard. He'll tell you, he said, you gotta wake up in the morning and take that skin suit of yours and kiss it. Love yourself. And then he'll break out laughing. So I wrote this song called Love Yourself. Hardest thing is to love yourself, 'cause nobody else can do it for you. And the very first thing is to love yourself, and then there's nothing that you cannot do. She could not see it any clearer, all the beauty that her soul reveals. But looking into that cold, cold mirror, what she sees just doesn't match the way that she wants to feel. 'Cause the hardest thing is to love yourself, 'cause nobody else can do it for you. And the very first thing is to love yourself, and then there's nothing that you cannot do. couple walks with separate burdens, one with grief and one with shame. They got no idea why they're hurting, oh, but they're hurting just the same. 'Cause the hardest thing is to love yourself, 'cause nobody else can do it for you. And the very first thing is to love yourself. And then there's nothing that you cannot do. When fact and fiction fall together and benediction falters in your throat, when all your connections come untethered, wrap forgiveness all around you like the warmest winter coat. 'Cause the hardest thing is to love yourself, 'cause nobody else can do it for you. And the very first thing is to love yourself. And then there's nothing that you cannot do. Then there's nothing that you cannot do. Love yourself. It's a hard lesson to learn. I'm going to do a little waltzing number here, so anybody wants to get up and do the socially distanced waltz, now's the time. It's this one called North Star. Hold on. Part of loving yourself is tuning your guitar. Well, the movie that she saw on her first date was the typical boy and girl kind. But when he bent down to kiss her goodnight, she'd already left him behind. And maybe she was hoping for too much, but hoping was so easy then. To think that that man who took her away could be the one to take her in. And now she's running away across the desert, out of LA heading south, and out of the arms of all she's ever known. But they never really knew her anyhow. Forgot a verse. Uh-oh. I'm gonna get out my dummy sheet. So sometimes you gotta, you gotta have your dummy sheet handy, because does anybody know this verse? I know how it ends, but I can't remember how it starts. It's about this poor girl, and nobody knows her mind, but she figures it out. and she never did know what she wanted until she climbed in the passenger seat with an older man and the top down, and felt the speed of the road neath her feet. And now she's running away across the desert, out of L.A. heading south, out of the arms of all she's ever known, but they never really knew her anyhow. Then a lot of time went by. That's what these measures signify. It don't mean I forgot the next verse, because I didn't. Now she sends home a card every Christmas saying me and your granddaughter's fine, but there's always a blank space for the return address, so they gave up knowing her mind. Now she lives all alone like that North Star, so bright and so far gone. And as the heavens go wheeling around her, finally she's feeling at home. Yes, finally she's feeling at home. Thanks, y'all. I'll get that one next time. It's like one of those stories, you know, it's like a choose your own adventure thing where you never know what part's going to go where. I'll do a song that, like I mentioned, we were in the UK right when we got called home for quarantine, and I was written a song over there in Glasgow. We've been in Glasgow the day before, and a couple days before. My brother had actually spent some time there and lived there for a year in Glasgow, and from the stories he told, he barely made it out alive. And it kind of walking the streets around there, riding the trains and whatnot, kind of made me think of him, and wrote this song called "The Ghost of Glasgow." Caught in the rain, too late for the 10:30 train. I got a ticket for one, so why's your memory still tagging along? So let's go pay your tabs up and down the road. The cab driver won't stop talking about the year that the river froze, and a young man fell when the ice broke. He says, have you heard of the ghost of Glasgow? So I made a few calls, all your old friends had long moved on, and they sent me downtown to a couple of spots you used to hang around. So let's go pay your tabs from 30 years ago. The bartender says I remind him of someone he used to know, and how they carried him in still soaked to the bone. He pours up a drink to the ghost of Glasgow. Scotland the Brave is what they played for the last serenade. It was a king's farewell. Leave your empties on the steps of a cheap hotel and let's go pay your tabs and call them closed. The bartender swears I remind him of someone that he used to know. Then he starts to talk a little bit slower. He stops and looks a little bit closer. He says, you're here to find your brother and walk these streets with the ghost of Glasgow. Walk these streets with the ghost of Glasgow and have one more drink with the ghost of Glasgow and have one more drink with the ghost of Glasgow and walk these streets with the ghost of Glasgow. The ghost of Glasgow. Thanks, y'all. It's a minor chord I ended on there, so you know it's a ghost song. See there? It's pretty spooky. Let's see. All right. I'm going to venture off the set list one more time. Back in the spring, you know, it was like I've been gone all the time. We've been traveling so much. Got home, there's all these things you wanted to do, you know, and make the most of every single day and go 100 miles an hour. And it kind of wore me out there real quick. I guess I didn't have my stamina. So I wrote this song called We Can't Rock and Roll All the Time, but we can some of the time. Cigarettes and candy, barbecue and apple brandy, I'll lead you to an early grave, laughing almost all the way. That woman of mine, she just loves to dance. She says, honey, put your helmet on and let's go see the band. But I'm not as young as I used to be. Maybe I'm past my prime. I still get down when I wanna, but we can't rock and roll all the time. I come rolling out of winter time, wild as a wicked, blinking in the sunshine like an uncooked chicken. The first sign of the springtime gets me jumping and kicking. Leave it to the red bud to make my cold blood quicken. But I'm not as young as I used to be. Maybe I'm past my prime. I still get down when I wanna, but we can't rock and roll all the time. I can still do it right. I just need a good reason. Hey, mama, hold me tight. You know I won't stop squeezing. Put a lefty in my right hand, a lemonade in the other, and I'll be ready to go again as soon as I recover. But I'm not as young as I used to be. Maybe I'm past my prime. I still get down when I wanna, but we can't rock and roll all the time. I'm not as young as I used to be. Maybe I'm past my prime. I still get down when I wanna, but we can't rock and roll all the time. Try another song I wrote here around that same time. Missing the band. I do miss those guys. It's nice not to be needed once in a while, to be forgotten and to slip out of style. It can't be late if there's nowhere to go, and nobody's waiting for the start of the show. Goodbye to the band, goodbye to the crew. Well, we did what we did, now we do what we do. First things first, to look after our own, make ourselves useful closer to home. I'm in no hurry now, but I got worries on my mind. I open up a $4 bottle of wine, walk outside in the bright moonshine, and just me and my lady. Folding chairs I've never seen so much use. Now every night we got a table for two. It's going dark in the east, still light in the west, and I'm a little more thankful for a little bit less. I'm in no hurry now, but I got worries on my mind. Open up a $4 bottle of wine, walk outside in the bright moonshine, just me and my lady. Just me and my lady, me and my lady. There are actually some good $4 bottles of wine out there. I've been wearing those things out. Let's see here. Well, thank y'all so much for being here and joining me here tonight and all being together. It just feels great. Thanks to the Gray Eagle and supporting the Gray Eagle here. This is a real classic Asheville spot, so it feels good to help see them through, and appreciate y'all being here, help see me through a little bit. And, yeah, it's my pleasure. This is right on. Well, I'm glad to hear it. This is like I saw some live music yesterday for I think the first time, and it's just like it just hit me like, yeah, it felt really good for actual human beings. So thank you, y'all. I'll do just a couple more tunes. Let's see here. I think I'm gonna do. I'll try one more off that Steep Canyon record, and this one kind of fits in that same sort of category of resilience that I think their whole record kind of circles around a lot. Chairs turned over on their sides. Worse for the weather around here tonight. Put on your brave heart, put on your thickest skin. It's a fight to the end. They're the worst bad habit I fell into. Was wanting it all the time from you. If I have to ask, I'll ask for more. They come begging at your door. The need is endless, but it don't take much. Just one drop of rain and we're soft to the touch. One drop of rain and we're soft to the touch. Mercy's all I have to share. I'll bring it to you and I keep it there. In the broken spaces, the Spirit moves, and it comes pouring through. I can feel the pain open me right up. One drop of rain, and we're soft to the touch. One drop of rain, and we're soft to the touch. So cover me over, cover me over, cover me over, hold me under tonight and tell no lies, and I'll tell no lies. Put your hands on me, baby, and feel me breathe. There's a storm raging inside of me. If I shed one tear, it'd flood this town. And together we could drown. Hearts grown hard till they turn to dust. But one drop of rain and we're soft to the touch. Only love could make us so damn tough. One drop of rain and we're soft to the touch. One drop of rain and we're soft to the touch. One drop of rain. One drop of rain. Thanks, y'all. I'm going to hit one more tune here and bid you a good afternoon. Thanks for spending your Sunday here with me. This has been just a treat to play music for y'all and here in the fair city of Asheville. Going to do a little tune wrote after we were downtown for some of the demonstrations earlier this year, and all the people down there. It's an inspiring bunch, and inspired this song and made me learn a new harmonica lick. I love Sonny Terry and his harmonica playing, and if you ever hear him play, he'll play and do his thing, and he'll go, woo! And you're like, that's awesome. That's awesome. And then I think I kind of figured it out what he was doing. He needs a breath, you know. He's because on the harp you're drawing so much to hit those blues notes. He needs a breath to blow his breath out, not in, but he's blowing his breath out. So, woo! That's what Sonny Terry was doing. So, I might groan or something like that on this one, something like that. But that's what I'm doing. But my belt buckle flies off. Just be aware. I think there's an indemnity clause in the ticket somewhere, so just be careful. We'll do this one called Bad Apple. Went downtown to speak my mind, one eye forward and one behind. Looking out for a little good trouble, looking out for that one bad apple. It's a bad apple, it's a bad apple. It's a bad apple. It's a bad apple. I don't know, but I got a hunch. One bad apple will spoil the bunch. If there's no love when you plant the seed, it'll bear fruit that nobody needs. It's a bad apple. It's a bad apple. It's a bad apple. It's a bad apple. Y'all take care. So good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Well, I didn't get to play the banjo enough anyways, so I just decided I didn't. You say go for two more. Is it very early? All right, well, I'll try a trilogy. There's 3 songs I wrote together that I've never performed together before, so. Call up the captain, tell him I ain't coming in. He can dig his own coal. Something else is happening, Lord. This living that I'm making is doing us in, and it's broken the lives of too many good men. Been hauling coal since I was big enough to fight. Some 30-odd shifts without a glimpse of daylight. And the corporation likes to say everything's alright. Just dig yourself a hole, get out of sight. There's a dark cloud above me that's blocking out the sun. Burn another hunk of coal, listen to those engines run. Lord, one half is starving while the other's having fun. Call the captain, call the captain, call the captain. Melinda, close the door. I ain't going down to the mine today. I want clear blue skies and a whole lot more. I ain't going down to the mine. There's a hole in this bucket I've been carrying round. I fill it up to the top and watch it spill on the ground. I go down in the mine, and when I come back out, I got nothing to show but the sweat on my brow. These hills are my own flesh and bone. They're all that I love, and they're all that I've known. So please don't ask me to destroy my own. I'm not gonna choose between my heart and my soul. So call up the captain, tell him I ain't coming in. He can dig his own coal. Something else is happening. Lord, this living I'm making is doing a sin. Call the captain, call the captain, call the captain. Melinda, close the door. I ain't going down to the mine today. I want clear blue skies and a whole lot more. I ain't going down to the mine. I ain't going down to the mine. I ain't going down to the mine. Hear the whistle blow this morning. Hear the whistle blow today. Hear that whistle blow this morning. And I dreamed I'm out in a field of stone where thorn and thistle grows. I wake to the sound of a hungry child as the morning whistle blows, saying, Father, oh Father, what do you say? Why bring me to this doom? I toil and struggle, struggle and pray by the light of the Cumberland moon. My love, she dreams her life away out on the edge of town. I'm gonna go to her in the cool of the day when the Cumberland moon goes down. And I take this broken smile of mine, whistle a broken tune. Drinking helps me pass the time by the light of the Cumberland moon. Deck of cards and a bottle of rye, we'll rob these hustlers blind. Get a big motorbike, we'll ride and ride and leave the Cumberland moon behind. And I take this broken smile of mine, whistle a broken tune. Singing helps me pass the time by the light of the Cumberland moon. When I dream I'm out in a field of stone where thorn and thistle grows, wake to the sound of a hungry child as the morning whistle blows, as the morning whistle blows. Picture a ballroom with windows so tall, with nothing to do there but slow dance and waltz, where the air is as pure as the song in your soul. And I tell you the prettiest lies ever told. And picture a bright cloudless sky without end, where the warmth of the sun falls soft on your skin, and the air is as pure as the song in your soul. And I'll tell you the prettiest lies ever told. Come dance, dance here with me, come dance. Get yourself free, come dance. Come dance. And down by the water where the banks have grown wild, you can drift off to sleep and wake as a child, and open your eyes as a new world unfolds. And I'll tell you the prettiest lies ever told. Come dance, set yourself free, come dance. And Linda with me, come dance. Come dance. Come Appreciate it, y'all. So many thanks to you. Keep supporting live music. Take care of each other.